WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Well, Red Rover, here we come. Dare us over. We're already there. I'm Bill Cody. That's Charlie Manos, Kelly Sutton, Annie Nye, David Reed, Jeff Roberts making it happen here. It takes a village. We sit in the Simply Superior, Springer Mountain Farm Simply Superior Acuff House Studio on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. And your money's no good here. We're going to Dollywood. We're going to Dollywood this summer. Everybody, all aboard. We're going to Dollywood. Ellen Liston, our friend, is on a little bit.
I need to go. I have not been in a minute, and I missed that bread.
You were there recently.
Yeah, early birthday celebration for Jackson in April.
What kind of shirt you rocking over there this
morning? Got my Dollywood I Will Always Love You music festival shirt.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice. I can't believe I didn't wear my Dolly shirt. I have like 7.
Okay. As long as one of us does.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You should call ahead.
I know. I told him to text me. Why didn't you text me and remind me? You know I'm asleep.
You girls got to stick together.
I
so
know.
You don't wear the same thing.
My bad.
Can't possibly show up wearing the same thing.
It's fine. Ellen is one of my favorite people. I'm so happy she's here. And I have on pink, so that kind of fits.
Yeah. And that butterfly pink that she's famous for with her logo.
Right.
And the McCrary Sisters are coming to see us here in a little bit.
So fun.
They're at the Opry on Friday night, and they've got a special show. It's very touching, the story that it's a family medical issue, and they're doing a benefit, and that's at 3rd and Lindsley. But that show's tonight, actually. But we'll talk about that and all that entails coming up with them.
Okay. And coming up, entertainment headlines. We're giving you all the details on Thomas Rhett going to Las Vegas. Get ready for that. Also, this is fun. These are popping up everywhere, like lookalike contests. There was a Pedro Pascal lookalike contest in New York City. The winner got $50 and a year's worth of free burritos. We'll show you who won. And let me tell you, the turnout for it was crazy.
Hey, my little man could do some damn. We could make some money on a year's worth of free burritos.
I know. Also, Rascal Flatts. Is there more music coming? You know, they just did the Life is a Highway Refueled duets. Are we going to get more duets coming from them? I'll tell you what they said coming up.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Direct from Dollywood, performing live on the Assembly Food Hall stage. Please make welcome Ellen Liston, the pride of Bluntville, Tennessee. There she is, feeling kind of bougie. She had to come through to the new Acuff House studio. Security was involved. You're passing the artist entrance where all the greats walk in backstage.
Yeah, for a little.
And then at the end, there's us.
Oh.
And that was the best part. I mean, you know, from a country girl from Sullivan County, it doesn't get much better than this, right?
It's
and
pretty fancy.
I've got the coffee and the country. And Cody.
I forgot that you hadn't been in the new studio yet.
I mean,
it's
I feel
pretty
really
fancy.
bougie.
Yeah.
Really bougie. You know, I think I've told y'all this before. When I was like in 5th grade, my 5th grade civics class, we got to come to Nashville and go to the Opry. And it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Roy Acuff was on. Minnie was probably, I just remember Roy Acuff. And it was just magical, and most people fell asleep, and I was like this, singing along, you know.
That's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
You are in the big middle of what was his living room
I know,
here in
bougie.
the Acuff house.
Bougie, I feel.
And the fireplace is right here. We've covered it up. We may uncover it. Charlie and I got a plan. And
Hey, now.
because it was really, really nice.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
What's going on in your world at Dollywood?
So much happening at Dollywood. We just opened the big Summer Celebration Festival. Charlie, have you ever been to that one? I think you've been to most every other festival, maybe not the Summer
No,
Celebration.
we tend to we hit the Food and Flowers. We hit the Pumpkin Luminites. We've done Christmas, but we've never done the summer.
Well, it's super fun. And actually, last night I was counting up. I was actually having to do some work. And I was counting. We literally have over 16 entertainment shows and experiences during this. And that doesn't even include the fireworks and drone show at night, which is super different. You know, it's our 40th anniversary this year. And kind of started off with a big dream of Dolly's, and look at us now.
Well, we did a little history, a timeline. Kelly did in entertainment. a few days ago.
There's a
about
documentary that's on YouTube.
Yes.
I don't know if you've watched
So-
all of it, but shows just
If
how
you
it all
look
got
really
started.
close at one point, you see the back of my head.
Oh, you're in it. She's
Yeah.
in it.
So
the back of my head.
Silver Dollar City,
It was
and
Silver
then Gold Rush something.
Gold Rush Junction. It actually started out with just the train, which is still there, called
Yeah.
the Dollywood Express. In the early 1960s as Rebel Railroad.
That's
It
right.
went to Gold Rush Junction. Then really the turning point was when the Hershans bought it and became Silver Dollar City, Tennessee. And then Dolly and her dream made it Dollywood, and we've been rocking and rolling and country and ever since.
Oh,
So was it a dream always of hers to have this theme park
Yeah.
idea, or what do you know about that?
The crazy thing is that she has said, and Dolly, if you're listening, you can call in and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard this story several times. But the first time she ever went to Hollywood and she saw that big Hollywood sign, she thought, well, that'd look cool if we replaced that H with a D and it became Dollywood. And that was even years before 1982. She did an interview with Barbara Walters. And we all remember those interviews. And she asked very pointed questions. She says, well, now you've crossed over into movies. You're nominated for an Oscar. What's next for Dolly Parton? And she said, well, I have a dream that I'm going to open a theme park in the Smoky Mountains. It's going to be a place where all my people can perform. My relatives are so talented. I'd love for everybody to hear them, not just me. It'd be great for the economy, great jobs for people. And that was in 1982. And if you go back and watch that interview, you can see Barbara Walters kind of look at her like, yeah, oh, that's a nice dream.
Kind of dismissed her.
And like everything she does, she just proved everybody wrong. And she even said this when we did the 40th anniversary opening back in May. She said, I remember being up we used to have a little apartment that she would hang out in when she was there, looking out the windows of the apartment and saying, please God, let some people come to Dollywood. And it was kind of like Field of Dreams, and
Yeah.
then people just started rolling in, and that first year we had about 1.3 million visitors, which doubled what Silver Dollar City, Tennessee had the year before. And last year we had over 3 million visitors, and our TripAdvisor's reigning #1 theme park in the country right here in Tennessee.
isn't that cool?
With a long eye, I might add.
Right. here.
Right here.
Right
here. Yes. He's my people.
I love it. Everything keeps growing. I mean, it's been a couple years since we've been, and there have been new things that are added. So talk about some of the expansions and what people may not have had a chance to visit. If it's been a year since they've been there or longer, what are some of the newer things they need to come see?
So I'll go back 2 years.
Okay.
We opened Big Bear Mountain,
That's
which
right.
was kind of the latest and greatest roller coaster.
Did you ride it, Charlie?
Oh, 3 times last
Yeah.
time. Loved
well,
it.
they said it was really
Well,
fun.
and for those,
It is Charlie approved. by the
oh
way.
my God! Well, if you've ever been to Disney and done Slinky Dog, this is longer and better.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a
very-
phenomenal ride.
And it's obviously set in the Smokies, so it's beautiful, and it's kind of it's kind of disguised as it is a family ride, so you don't have to be very tall to ride it. So as they say, at
Well, it's got some
Dollywood,
thrill though.
It's Ellen,
Yeah.
even Ellen could ride it because you don't have to be
Has
very
Ellen
tall.
ridden it?
But it's got
Has
three-
Ellen ridden it?
No, because I'm like Dolly.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I get away with it only because Dolly doesn't ride rides and neither do I. But thank goodness for all the animation these days. But it has 3 launches. So what that means is you do that first launch, you're like, ooh, and then you're like, oh, this is great. And then there's another one, and there's another one. So that was what we did 2 years ago. And then last year, the Dolly Parton Experience opened. So wow, it is just it's a museum-like experience, but very interactive, the latest technology, and there's actually 3 different parts of the museum. So there's Songteller, which might also be the name of a little hotel that might be opening here in Nashville next spring.
Saw something about that.
Yeah, something about that. And then there's Behind the Seams, which I love because, of course, Dolly's play on words, and she let us kind of borrow that, and because we couldn't think of anything better. Of course, who could?
Sure.
Which is a costume experience. You get, and it changes all the time, so you get to see different things. And then probably my favorite is called Precious Memories, and it's a multimedia screen presentation that has footage of her grandpa, Jake Owens, who was a preacher and was an inspiration for a lot of her music and her family's. And then her niece Heidi has her own show called Heidi Parton and Friends. And you might just see Dolly singing with Heidi if you see that show, by the wonder of technology. But I think it also showcases, we had this huge ride that's fun. Then we had a museum and musical experience with Dolly. This year we're celebrating 40 years. The big thing we did this year was a lot of retrospective. We're adding to all the festivals some different elements. And then if you're following us on social media, something big coming in 2026. And I'm going to be honest, they don't tell me much because they know I'm a blabbermouth. And I would tell everything I know. But they did tell me there's another tease coming to our social about what's coming in 2026. So you'll have to check it out.
Well, update us on accommodations before we wrap up.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Stay and Play, and both Dreammore and Heartsong are
perfect.
beautiful places.
Well, you get the presidential suite when you go, don't you?
Oh, well,
I
yeah.
have gotten the family suite with the bunk beds separate from the main entrance and
fun.
it's
really nice.
Little separation's a good thing.
Yeah, so they're both very different. Dreammore is 10 years old this year, which is also hard to imagine. It got a little facelift, as Dolly said last year. I mean, of course, why wouldn't you after a few years? And then Heartsong is about a year and a half old, still just a baby, but great experiences depend on what you want to do. And Splash Country, our water park, is 25 this year. We just thought we'd do all those. And one final plug for an anniversary. Probably everybody's favorite. It's the 30th anniversary of Dolly's Imagination Libraries. By the end of this year, she will have gifted over 300 million books.
That's crazy.
To kids, obviously throughout this country and in several countries around the world. So we're proud of our Dolly.
I love
always, always.
Love all of that.
Do you have a home or do you just live in the park?
I live in the park a lot or in my car, traveling all over the place, spreading a little Dolly cheer. People always are like, where's Dolly right now? Actually, I think she is in Nashville right now because there's a little musical about her life
that's
debuting next month. And she's a little busy with that. She was actually with us in Panama City Beach 2 weeks ago, opening a brand new Pirates Voyage dinner show. We had so much fun. Of course, she was dressed like a pirate, prettiest pirate you've ever seen.
Of course. Of course.
So, she's everywhere. But come see us at Dollywood. It's a fun 40th anniversary year. And check it out and see what's happening in 2026.
And I love the fact that Kelsey Ballerini took her boyfriend and Noah Kahn and Noah's wife, and they all double date at Dollywood and post pictures. Just have fun.
So cute. It was actually the week that Dolly was there for the 40th anniversary. And they were there just, living their best life.
Just riding the rides.
Hey, we're her hometown theme park,
That's
Kelsey.
right.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been there probably since she was knee-high to a grasshopper, as they say.
I love it.
Public Relations Manager at Dollywood, Ellen Liston, this morning, and celebrating the Smoky Mountain Summer Celebration presented by Food City, and it starts today, right?
Yeah, come up and see
Runs
us. Enjoy the fun.
Before the kids go back to school, it'll wrap up. So August 3rd
is our
okay.
last day. You
All
got
right.
plenty of time to come see us.
And Dollywood's 40th anniversary, like they say on the website, miles from ordinary, minutes from excitement.
Coffee, country, and Cody.
And there's more fun ahead. Again, thank you so much to our sweet friend Ellen Liston, the PR manager at Dollywood, for coming by this morning and helping us get a jump start on the Smoky Mountain Summer Celebration, which starts today and runs through the 3rd of August, and the 40th year of Dollywood. Hard to believe.
I can't believe that.
And then the McCrary Sisters will be up next on the Assembly Food Hall stage. And I see you smiling because I know how much you love them.
I just love when they're in the room. They are just happiness and joy. They come in and sunshine comes with them.
You'll be with them at the Opry on Friday.
No.
Yeah.
I get a double dose in the McCrary's in 1 week. That's good stuff. Well, hey, let's talk about another trio. This is Rascal Flatts, and they've got their songs out now. It's the refueled duets. So Life is a Highway refueled duets. Basically took a bunch of their songs that they really loved that were super popular, and they did them as collaborations. So think Kelly Clarkson and Jonas Brothers and Backstreet Boys. But if you're really looking closely, there are several songs that were left off, like Praying for Daylight, their big hit that was at the very beginning. So we had a chance to catch up with them. We did a live podcast taping with Rascal Flatts at CMA Fest, and we specifically said, you know, what's coming next? Here's what they said.
Life is a Highway refueled duets, 9 hits, all reimagined as collaborations.
We've actually left plenty of room open for refueled again.
Exactly.
And refueled yet again.
The next one is Rascal Flatts diesel fueled. Yeah.
That was going to be our next question. We're like, does this mean more?
Yeah.
Even more fueled. And then the fourth one is going to be electric vehicle.
Yeah.
So they won't be...
They were being silly. But I do think that we're going to get more stuff from them. Also, they wrapped up their tour. Remember, they went out and they did a few, I don't know how many dates there were, not a ton, but they did some dates on the road. And I specifically said, you didn't call this a farewell tour. Is there a reason for that? And each one of them said that they had the time of their lives being back on stage and they would be open to doing more dates, but that doesn't mean that they're already booked. So they were kind of cagey. They didn't give me a direct answer.
Vague.
But I do think that we're probably going to get more from the guys. So just putting that out there. And if you want to hear the rest of that, it's available now. Country Heat Weekly is the podcast, and we dropped it on Thursday. You can go listen to the entire thing, and it was taped live at CMA Fest. So if you were in the audience, then listen for your laugh or your clap. It's always fun when you get to do stuff like that in front of a live audience. It was nice. All right, so that's available wherever you listen to podcasts. Let's talk about Pedro Pascal and his lookalikes. This was pretty fun. And there are a lot of these that have been happening lately. They had a Timothée Chalamet lookalike competition. This one was in New York City. They said, if you look like Pedro Pascal, show up. Winner gets $50 and a year's worth of free burritos from the event's organizer, Sun Del North. So here's the guy that won. Take a look. What do you think? I think he looks just like Pedro Pascal. I mean, truly.
If you had not told me, I thought that would have been him.
Right?
Yeah.
He's holding up his $50 check.
Oh, that's
there.
great. $50.
The crazy thing is, I don't know how many people showed up, but the entire area in Brooklyn was just
a sea of people.
A sea of people. And so many Pedros. The funniest was that there were some women that were saying, I'm there to find my husband. I'm going to go husband shopping at the Pedro Pascal event.
Who was it on our staff? Oh, Brittany said one time, I'm in NYC working on my MRS. It's who has moved on, but yeah, we had her on the air for something, and she was on the phone in the streets of New York, and I said, what are you doing? Say, taking a road trip. She and a girlfriend. She said, I'm in NYC working on my MRS.
Oh, my goodness.
First time I'd heard that.
Well, we have one more for you. Hardy canceled his European tour, y'all. Bad news. If you were going to one of those shows, all 10 of those have been canceled. No real reason given yet, but we will keep you up to date if we find out.
So I heard the old murder ballad, Perfume, Powder, and Lead from the Lonesome River Band the other day. Well, here's the semi-country equivalent to that.
Is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hey, we're going back to the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, celebrating 100 of them. That's right, Lainey Wilson, Opry star. That's coming up, Watermelon Moonshine, so hang on for that. First, let's catch up with Kelly Sutton.
Well, Thomas Rhett, he's going to Vegas. You know, that's what happens when you have a bunch of kids. You just decide.
Is he taking the family or he's just going to Vegas?
I don't know. TBD.
Lauren, have you seen your husband lately?
Well, he had a residency that was going on there, and he is reviving the residency. I was explaining this to somebody that I was with over the weekend. They said, oh, so when they're out there, they live there. And I said, well, no, not really. So residencies are not what we used to think of them as residencies. Like when you thought of Elvis, having a residency. He was there.
Or Sinatra.
6 nights a week or 5 nights a week, and that was where they were for months at a time.
You know, Elvis for a time would do an 8 p.m., a midnight, and a 3 a.m. show.
No
3
kidding.
shows a night.
Holy
Yeah, not for the
cow.
entire run, but there were a couple of years where there were 3 a.m. shows.
And how long were his shows?
He would play longer, but the casino made them go 45 minutes to an hour to get people back in to gamble. They didn't want them longer than an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that anymore.
No.
The way that it works now is they'll do certain weekends. So they might do 2 weekends in 1 month. They might do, 4 days. I mean, it's just kind of scattered throughout. And it might be a couple days in October and some in December and then a few in February. But it's not all in a row. And that's basically what's happening with Thomas Rhett. So he's reviving the residency he started last December. He is set to take the stage at the Blow Live Theater, which I did not know where that was. Maybe I said it wrong. It's blue. It's blue, isn't it? Blue. Yeah, because it's at the Fountain Blue.
How's
So
it
that
spelled?
makes sense.
Yeah.
Blue.
Okay.
It's spelled wrong here.
Bleu. It's
Bleu.
bleu.
Bleu. It's going back to the
I'm sure they have a theater there in that. So, but that's not where he's going to be. Sorry.
It's going to be
21 and over. 21 and over.
That's why you can't take the kids, Kelly.
Blue. Blue Live. October 3rd and 4th. Oh,
You know
sounds like a fun time. I don't know.
You know who James Dobson is?
Yes, Dr. James Dobson.
Yes.
Yes.
He said his kids saw Triple X on a movie theater once as they were driving through someplace. And he was trying to distract them from looking. And finally, he hears his son from the back seat say, I know what they do in those movies. And he says, okay, here it comes from the mouths of babes. He goes, they spit on each other. Isn't that precious?
Holy cow. All right. So Thomas Rhett, totally G-rated show. It is going to be October 3rd and 4th. Previously, he played 4 dates there at the end of 2024. So again, it's a residency, but it's some random dates in October if you want to go see him. He's currently out on his Better in Boots tour. Tucker Wetmore is with him. He's going to be playing Minnesota's Woodstock Country Music Festival this coming weekend on Saturday. So you can look forward to that. Okay, let's talk about Hardy canceling this European tour because I didn't really get into it last time, but 10 different dates. It was supposed to start on the 19th, which is a couple days from now. He just came out on social media and said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. It's for the best for my band, my crew, and my family. Please know I love you all, and I'll be back as soon as I can. That was it. Don't know why. No more explanation.
We kind of thought maybe an international security issue that they want to keep quiet because Europe is having to step up regarding what's going on in Tehran and as well in Israel.
I think it would be different if it was just the UK because that is such an easily traveled area. If you're doing, England and parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales, that's a little bit easier. But he had like Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium on there as well.
Was he going to Paris? Because it's close.
I don't know. Probably. I would if I had a side quest. That's where I would definitely go. But yeah, if you had tickets, they're going to be automatically refunded. Sad news for everybody there. And good morning to Sunny Sweeney. I can't wait to talk to you and find out more about what went on. She was performing out on tour. They were in Newport, Kentucky. As they were on stage, a drunk driver hit the trailer that had all of her equipment in it. And the car flipped over on its side. It damaged the van that the trailer was attached to. She had to leave the trailer behind in Kentucky. They drove the van to the next gig. They put all the merch and everything in the van. So they piled it in, made it to the next gig. But she said, I can't continue on. The van is damaged. We don't have any room for all this stuff. So she had to cancel some dates. Keep up to date with her on social media. She is getting sweenered on Instagram.
Yep. And when is she at the Opry, Charlie?
Friday?
Thursday night.
Thursday.
McCrary's worth you Friday.
That's right.
And the McCrarys are with us here in just a little bit.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
San Juan Capistrano, they have returned. to the Coffee Country and Cody Acuff House studio. The McCrary Sisters are here.
As soon as they walked in, we just started talking fashion immediately. I'm like, where'd you get that? That's cute. What's going on? Love it.
Kelly and Regina have decided they can't help it. They just cannot pass up a bargain.
Listen,
Right?
Even if they don't need it, they're going to buy it because it's on sale.
We don't gatekeep. We know if there's a good deal, you got to share it with everybody and tell everybody where we're getting our good stuff.
Yes.
Because we can only wear stuff a couple of times. Especially, I can't even imagine what it's like for stage wear for y'all. To find 3 things that complement each other, but don't look like triplets.
Right.
But then also, once you wear them, are you going to get to wear them again?
I know it.
See, it's
I
a
know
lot.
it.
It's
Oh,
a lot of
yes.
work. You make fun, but it's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
I do.
I know you do.
Regina and Alfreda here this morning, the McCrary Sisters.
Good morning.
And
Good morning.
you've got a couple of things that we wanted to make the audience aware of, particularly here in the Nashville community. And you're at the Opry on Friday night.
Yes.
And then tonight, tell us about tonight at 3rd and Lindsley. Alfreda, this is very personal in
Yes,
your life. I know.
tonight we're doing a benefit for my daughter. It's breast awareness. She's been dealing with this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so
How old is she?
she's 47.
Okay.
47. And so, yeah, young. And we know a lot of people are going through so many things, and cancer is like rapid. But
Well, your mother, did she not, Kelly? Did your
My
mother?
mom had breast
I thought
cancer.
so.
Yeah,
That's
she was
right.
diagnosed at 60, and she's now 81, so 21
God.
years.
Praise
Yeah,
God.
yeah. But that is it. I had a doctor tell me one time I treat every patient like they're going to have breast cancer because 1 out of 5 will.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't
It's
that
amazing.
It's a crazy
Yes.
statistic.
Yes.
But 47 is so young.
and so we just need help.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just being honest, just need a little help.
Absolutely.
So
Little
we're
help
gonna-
from our friend.
Yes.
As the song goes.
And so we
And you've
just
got some great
asking-
friends
Yes,
tonight.
we do. We do. And we're just asking everybody to come up, come out, come up, come out.
Okay.
Show up,
Come
join, come on, join us. And I ask God to pour back into everybody that come out to be a support for her.
And how do you pronounce her name?
Ephi.
E-F-I-A.
When she was born, we spelled it E-P-H-I-A. She decided she was using E-F-I-A.
Well, first off, you would never convince me that you have a 47-year-old daughter.
Right.
If you had said 27, I would have very much believed you. You know, but what a lineup you guys have tonight too. And so many of these folks have joined us in studio through the years as well, so we feel like it's all family. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And it includes Buddy Miller, Etta Britt, Sean McConnell, Jim Lauderdale. Anybody else that I don't have on my list that I just mentioned?
McCrary Sisters.
McCrary
And Mother
Sisters.
McCrary. Okay.
It's Jackie Wilson and our nephew, Sam McCrary, in the mix.
Oh, that's great.
And Nashville All Stars. Oh, it's so many. Danny Flowers.
Aw.
It's so many people.
Hey, maybe the last time I saw you, Regina, and the family, was when your father, as a part of the Fairfield Four, was inducted into the Music City Walk of Fame
Yes.
in the same class that Colin Reed and I went in.
Yes.
And Kelly hosted.
Yes, that was amazing. I loved it.
Yes.
They wore those overalls and white shirts.
Yes.
Is that what they looked like back in the day?
You know what? I don't remember. I think they wore tuxedos back in the day. I think it was a light, because I
And
got
suits.
a light blue, they had light blue tuxedo jackets, and then I remember they had a pinstripe tuxedo, because when my dad passed, out of all the things I could have got, I took his pants, the tuxedo.
Nice.
I said I was going to cut them down for me. Fashion.
Fashion. All comes back.
Come back to that fashion. It's my mama's daughter. She was the fashion queen.
Your mother?
And if she saw someone else with something that she had on, she would give it away.
She
Oh,
would. She
really?
would give it away. She wouldn't wear it anymore.
She wouldn't wear it anymore.
Or if she was in public and saw somebody with what she had on, she would go in the bathroom and say, "You got a safety pin or something?" And she would take it, tear it, move it around, pin it up here to make it look different.
She started ordering her clothes versus then going to the stores.
Oh my God.
Oh, to make sure it was like original, one of a kind. Wow, I love that.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Kelly's like, I understand.
What was your mother's name?
Yes. Mamie Elizabeth McCrary. Yes.
Mamie. Wow, you never hear that anymore. Eisenhower's the first thing that comes to mind.
And you know, they used to call her Mamie Eisenhower when she walked in church on Sunday morning. Because her hat and her purse and her shoes had to match.
Dressed for the occasion.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. When you say hat, that's something that's gone away with women at church.
Yeah.
Hats at church used to be a thing, and particularly in the spring of the year.
Oh, yes. Hats, baby.
From the top of her head to the sole of her feet, she was matching. She was
matching.
Love that.
Yes.
Now just for horse racing.
I was going to say, I just saw one of
Kentucky
my mom.
Derby.
My mom has a whole hat collection, and some people that are her age, when they pass, what they'll do is they will leave all of their hats out and they will say, "Take a hat to remember me by."
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
And I saw that and I was like, well, we're going to have to do that with Mom because I don't know what to do with all those hats.
Call me, girl.
I would. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was such a personality trait.
Oh,
you
yes.
know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Instead of Carly, as in Carly Pierce's closet, it's Kelly's closet.
Oh, it needs some help right now. It's overflowing.
Like
Again, the
shoes.
McCrary. I'm sorry?
Like with shoes.
The shoe. She's the shoe queen. Me too.
So, in addition to the sisters that are here and your late sister, Deborah, who would always come, how many other girls or boys are there in the family?
4 boys and 4 girls. And today is Deborah's birthday.
No kidding.
Yeah. Today is her birthday. So we'll go act up after a while. Do something crazy in honor of Deborah.
But we lost 2 brothers.
Yeah.
We lost 2 brothers.
Our
and
2
Deborah.
oldest brothers passed away. So it's 5 of us
Left.
I don't know how to act sometimes. I'll be thinking, and then I'll pick up the phone and I say, I'm going to call Donna Ray, and then I realize he's not here. And
Yeah, I keep people who are friends and contacts in my phone that pass. I keep them in there. And once in a while, for whatever reason, you'll come across their name and have a sweet memory of when you talked to them last or saw them last.
Yeah.
Oh, I know people that won't erase voicemails. They'll keep them
I
for
know it.
years
Yeah.
and years just to have that voice.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
I've got one from Kelly Sutton that I treasure when she was really, really sick a while back. She called me and she said, Bill, Cody, I've taken to the bed. I'm like, I'm keeping that.
I love that.
Oh, my God.
You were so sick. I mean, you were so sick.
When that was Granny. When I'd call and I'd say, "How you doing?" "Well, done taken to the bed." I'm like, "Oh, it's serious now." So
Of course, our grandparents, that's their entire life.
That
right?
is
Like my
their
grandmother, my entire, how you doing? Oh, a lot of sick.
Well, again, Friday night you'll be at the Opry. And what do you remember about the first time you played the Opry?
Oh, my goodness. Were we with Buddy Miller?
The very first time?
The very first time? I think, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember. We were singing with someone. That's all I know.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel, sister?
It made me feel great because I had heard about the Opry, you know, and growing up in Nashville, you would think that I would have been there a lot of times, especially being in the music, but I was never at the Opry. So it was really great for me to be able to visit and participate in one of the shows.
Well, you'll be back on Friday night on the
Be
stage
back on
that made country music
Friday
famous.
night.
And it's the 100th year of the Grand Ole.
Yeah, I'm waiting on them to go on and make us honorary McCrary members.
honorary McCrary.
The honorary McCrary.
Great way to celebrate 100, huh?
Yeah.
Make it memorable.
Yeah.
And again, Alfreda, talk about, on behalf of your daughter and her breast cancer journey, what's happening at 3rd and Lindsley tonight, what time?
The doors open up at 6 p.m. And the show starts at 7:30. And we got a good lineup. We said some of the people names that are going to be
I'll highlight
there.
the ones I have: Buddy Miller, Etta Britt, Sean McConnell, Jim Lauderdale.
And then we have Will Merrill. He's a jazz singer.
Okay.
Gail Mays. Jesus, take the wheel.
You said Danny and Mabel
I
Flowers.
did say Danny and Mabel Flowers.
And Sam McCrary in the mix.
We have a David Monfo. You ever heard of him, David? He's a country singer. And Jeremy Dean, he's a country singer.
And Keisha.
And Keisha Bailey.
Yes.
Yeah, so I
Wow.
think that's about it. It's a
Full night.
It's a full night.
Well, Regina, why don't you call Bob Dylan? You got his number.
He'll be here in a few days.
Sure will.
Are you going to work with him?
We're going to go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a silent auction.
Oh, good.
And if anybody else wanted to donate, it's $ Ifia McCrary. Okay. And that's on the Cash App.
And spell Ifia again.
It's going to be PHIA on her Cash App. But on the flyer, her QR code and all that is on the flyer. If anybody pull it up and look at it, is,
I just like to say, as many people that can come and we just pack this place tonight is very important for a lot of reasons. Sometimes people do not realize how serious breast cancer is until it knocks at their door, until it's a family member or themselves. And honestly, I heard and I got friends who have had breast cancer and they're in remission now, and then I've had some that passed away. So, you never ever realize how serious something is until you know somebody or you yourself have to walk through it. So we're asking people to come out and support my niece because she's got a lot on her plate, trying to run a house, go through everything she's going through with the chemo and everything that she's gone through, and having those days where after the chemo she just got to lay down, she can't do anything. Never realized how much of a struggle that was until you see somebody go through it. I am a believer that what you give, God gives it back. So when you give out and you support and you help, only thing that's happening is it's going to come back. Reciprocity, it will come back. So we're asking as many people that can come out, and if you can't come out, donate, because, there's no shame in our game. At any given point, anybody can go through it, and the struggle financially, emotionally, mentally, when it comes down to your health and everything, you need a support system, people there to help you through it.
Yep.
Amen. Third and Lindsley tonight with the McCrarys and their special guests, including Jim Lauderdale, Buddy Miller, Etta Britt, Sean McConnell, and the full list of people that we've talked about.
Yeah, the worst thing is that the stress causes more problems. The worried about the money, the worry about this. So let's take some of the stress off.
Yes.
6 o'clock doors, 7:30 showtime tonight at Third and Lindsley. And then Friday night at the Grand Ole Opry.
Ooh.
Love you all. Thanks for coming to see us this
Thank
morning.
you. We love you so much.
Right. And we're going to close with Love is the Only Key. Does
Yes.
need to set this up, Regina?
Well, love is the only key because that's how this world is. If we can't show what it is God gives us so unselfishly, God loves us no matter what we're into, no matter how we live in, no matter what we're going through. He still let the rain come down and the sun shine on us regardless. He loves us just the way we are. And when we learn how to love each other that way, then we will realize that love is the only key that will get us through anything and all things.
Will you come to Orlinda Baptist Church Sunday?
Hallelujah.
Would you come preach?
I will.
Pastor Lance will give you the pulpit. I know he will. I'll put in a word. Here we go.
and we also have the full album coming out
Okay, when is that?
That's January.
July.
That's what I said, July. July 15th.
Oh.
That'll be
July
here before you
15th.
know it. It's a month away.
Yes. And then July 13th, we'll be back at 30 Lindsley for the Listening Sound Release Party.
Well, you'll have to come back and we'll share some
Yes.
cuts from the
Yes.
full album project
Yes.
with the McCrary Sisters.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Talk to me, Kelly Sutton. What you working on over there?
Oh, we're talking about our friend Bailey Zimmerman. You know, Bailey, I say it a lot, but Bailey has big golden retriever energy. He's just real happy and you love being around him. He's smiling. He's always so excited. I will tell you, we did a podcast with him a while back and he just had some success. Just when, things had really started taking off for him. And he got his first big check and he bought himself a Corvette. And he drove it to our studio and he said, "Do you want to see it?" And we said, "Well, yeah." So we went out, we looked at it, brand new Corvette, real low to the ground. He's showing it off, he's getting in it. And I said, "Make sure you wear your seatbelt and don't drive fast." And I just turned into his mom like that. And he said, "You know what I did? I found it. This is the one that I wanted. I found it." So my mom went with me and she picked it out with me and I let her drive it back. And I said, "Now that's pretty cool, but also please wear your seatbelt because I'm worried about you."
Well, he was on I-65, I'm pretty sure then, now that you've told us the story.
Yeah.
This morning, driving recklessly in rush hour traffic because he blew my doors off.
Was it white? Was it
No,
white?
it was red.
Oh,
It was red.
No, all right. It
Yeah.
wasn't him. He might have another one by now. I don't know. Let me tell you something. He is on a hot streak. And when he was at CMA Fest just a couple weekends ago, he was presented with a number of plaques backstage. Look at this picture. If you're watching us on all of our streaming partners, you can see what I'm talking about. 8 different plaques. He got Rock in a Hard Place is now 6 times platinum. Religiously is quadruple platinum. Never Coming Home just hit the platinum milestone. And then he had several others go gold. So 8 plaques backstage at CMA Fest. His next album, second album, Different Night, Same Rodeo, is coming out on August the 8th. So he's just on one of those upward trajectories that we haven't seen him slowing down anytime soon.
Literally upward on stage. Remember, now he's catapulted on stage and then onto a rope, right? I think that's how you and Bill should kick off the show at 8 o'clock.
I would do it.
Now you're talking like pyro.
He told me, he said, "I want to have a lot of pyro." And then when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" He pops up like a Pop-Tart out of a toaster.
Yeah.
And then lands, and then the fire shoots off, and then he grabs a rope and he swings like a pirate out to the other stage and then drops. And all I can think is somebody insured that. Some company somewhere was like, "Yeah, we'll underwrite that."
Yeah.
There's fire, and he's swinging from a rope.
Well, if the premium is high enough, they'll insure it.
I
right?
guess.
Yeah, we're not
it's
paying
chaos.
that. We're not paying claims today.
Right. I think they probably undersold it. Hopefully none of those underwriters are going to any of the shows. Okay, Brett Young is back better than ever before. He said he has really been working on his fitness. Now, if you remember, Brett was a baseball player at Ole Miss, so he was never in bad shape. But now he said, "I've really dialed it back." He said, "I've cut out alcohol, my diet, and my routine. I just really want to focus on longevity to be around for my family." 44 years old. He's been lifting weights, a lot of heavy weights. He said, "I've been doing a lot of that anti-aging and finding out how I can increase my longevity." All comes back to lifting weights. So lift heavy.
It's kind of like you had a life reset. Sometimes you just look in the mirror or you hit an age or something happens and you're like, today's the day we're going to change.
I have read that the number one reason that people make a life change and lose weight is they see a picture. They see there's a particular picture that pops up and they go, "Oh, I got to do something about me."
Yes, that's just why I wear hats all the time. I saw it on a jumbotron, which was worse than a picture.
So hey,
do you look in the mirror and see your father?
Oh, I can vividly remember the morning, the very first time it happened. It was I had just woken up and brushed my teeth, threw some water on my face, looked up, and I'm like, Whoa. There is Charles Matos Sr. looking back at me right now.
I'm telling
I mean,
you.
it was kind of cool and sobering at the same time.
Yeah. I can see my mom, especially if my hair's curly. Like I didn't blow dry it over the weekend. It was real curly. I was like, oh, hello, Jan. This is the order, by the way. He's really dialing in on his diet. His go-to order on the road, family size order of Chipotle.
Oh, I do like the Chipotle.
He said, but I don't do any of the add-ons, none of the extras. It's black beans, white rice, protein, and guacamole if I'm cheating. And he said, I just fill the fridge with it. So if you want to stay healthy, Chipotle is the way to go, according to Brett Young.
Happy 42nd birthday to Mickey Guyton today. She is celebrating. And Charlie and I were talking about him early this morning on radio only, before we got to television, that Barry Manilow is alive and well and still cooking and working at 82.
He's playing the Westgate in Vegas, got a long residency there, and it's the former Las Vegas Hilton, where Elvis had so many of his Vegas residencies. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Kelly Sutton, Charlie Matos. Thank you to David Reed, Annie Nye, our studio directors, and in master control, Jeff Roberts. I'm Bill Cody.